Hi, I'm Cornel. We are now ready for the final step of drapery installation. Well, from the earlier videos, we learned how wide to make the drapery for a window. We learned the difference between split draw and one-way draw. We learned how to measure for a rod, and most importantly, we learned how to install a rod. Next, we have to install the drapery. Well, first we have to install a tenor hook. What's a tenor hook? This is a tenor hook, and it has a function. Its function is to hang a return. Now, when drapery hangs, the pleats hang on to each ring by a drapery hook. The final pleat is here. Now, the material or fabric from the pleat to the wall is called a return. Finishes the drapery. It also allows to close off the end for someone who may be peeking in the side or so. It's a very nice, clean look. Now, where does a tenor hook go? It's a good question. The ring is centered, as we talked about in previous videos, between the finial and the bracket, and this tenor hook has to line up exactly with this eye of the ring. We can measure and be very precise, and always good to do so. For this demonstration, I'm just going to eyeball it. If I line this up correctly, where the tenor hook lines up with the ring here, and just tap it into place. Do the same on the other side. Same thing, center our ring. Let's go ahead and tap the tenor hook in. All right, we are now done with our tools. We are ready to go ahead and install the drapery. Well, when we hang drapery from below a ring, we have, well, in all drapery, we have a leader edge called the master carrier, and we have the return. The return is the pleat to the wall, and the master carrier or master overlap is this stretch material here. So now we know this is a right panel. It's not the left panel for this application, it's the left panel. So go ahead and start in the center. Why do we start in the center? Well, if you need more rings or need to add or take off, we can take off the finial, slide the pull, and add or subtract rings. We have the right number of rings. So let's go ahead and install. So we're going to hang our drapery onto each ring. The drapery has little drapery hooks on them called drapery pins. Let's go ahead and hang them. See how nice it looks. It fits so well. Final one here. And we hang our return onto the tenor hook. One panel is hanging. Oh, let's get that one hanging correctly. Let's do the same for our right panel. Again, we know it's the right panel because we have the return here and we have the smaller overlap. Let's go ahead and hang it. Now, in other types of rods, we often have a larger overlap, but for rings, we don't have a large overlap. It's good to get your steamer cooking and ready so that when you need the steamer, oh, it's warm and ready to go. Drapery's hanging. Oh, we're not finished yet. When you hang drapery from a rod with rings and the drapery hangs below the rings, go ahead and fold the material in between each pleat. Give it a fold. The same on the other side. Look at that. We are ready to steam this drapery. All right, let me grab my steamer. It's about ready to go. This is the Jiffy Steam E-Steam. Nice product. Takes 3 minutes to warm up, and it's hot. Throws an awful lot of steam for a handheld. So we're going to go ahead and steam. In between each pleat, it serves two functions. One of which, we eliminate wrinkles. We also help to train the drapery. And I start on top, and we usually go down about halfway. Fabric often has a pattern, texture, graining. Follow that graining, follow that texture, make sure it's even. You don't want it to wrap around the pleat, you want it to be even, so that each pleat size is the same. So let's continue down here. We do the same thing, in and out each pleat. Look how that fabric falls into place. And I'm watching my graining, I'm watching my lines, and my nice steamer here is doing a wonderful job. One of the most powerful handheld, and it actually gets hot right away. This looks pretty good. Let's do the same on the right panel. We're watching our pattern and going up and down with our fine steamer, falling into place. Look how nice this looks already. We're going to continue this. So you go down. And again, let's start along the bottom. Get your pleats in there. Make sure that your lining is in the pleat. Not all drapery is lined. This drapery is, so we want to make certain that it stays within the pleat when steaming. And that's what we do. So we're steaming out any wrinkles. We're making sure the pleats fall into place and eliminating any folds. So we're about there. Look how nice. So I think we're done with the steamer. Now what I do, drapery comes in plastic bags. I cut 2 ties out of plastic out of the bottom of the bag. And these serve a very specific function. What we want to do is train the drapery. We hung it, we steamed it, but we want to make sure all the pleats stay in place. So what we're going to do is we're going to pleat it. And each pleat is about a hand width deep. So here we go. We're going ahead and we're pleating it. We're still watching our pattern, our graining, our texture, making sure it's straight, and even that our return stays even. Wrap the tie along the bottom. Sometimes you can have 2 or 3 ties, but on a small panel like this, 1 I think is plenty. A little bow in, and don't tie it too tight. You don't want to crease drapery. Drapery shouldn't have a crisp fold. It should be rounded. Looks soft. Drapery is soft. It's soft. It's lovely. See how nice that looks? Let's do the same on this panel. Same thing. We're going to pleat it. Hand deep. Make sure the lining's in place. Watch your pattern and texture. Make sure your returns are even. Go ahead and tie it. Not too tight. You don't want a crisp fold in there. We want it soft. Here we go. We put a nice tie in there. We have rounded fronts. Check our texture. And our measuring was correct. When this drapery is open, we have fully exposed our window. We're not done yet. No. Now it's time to accessorize. Let's grab a table. A nice wine table. How about a chair? Look at that lovely chair. Chair. How about some pillows? Throw me an orange pillow. Nice orange pillow. Throw me a coordinating orange pillow. My goodness, how lovely. You don't like orange? You don't have to go with orange. Throw me a brown pillow. Get that lovely brown pillow. How about a coordinating pillow? Even lovelier. Look how nice that looks. Everything you see here and every product we use to install this treatment is available on this website or at Ludwig Interiors. So I hope you enjoyed this video or these series of videos. If you have any difficulty in installing drapery, please contact us at Ludwig Interiors. Thank you.